I'm going to make a box out of construction wood with finger joints. I know, what could possibly go wrong? Well, quite a lot. I've never made a box before, I've never done finger joints before, I've never done a dado before. So the purpose of this is that my wife wants a nice box. And as I said, I've never done any of this before, so I need to practice. And I've only got construction wood until I get a new delivery of hardwood from firewood. I use firewood, okay, that's all I've got. I could look at drawings, but that's not my way. I've seen boxes, I know how they work, I think, sort of. First to rip some wood down. That's enough of that, it's boring. Now let's rip it by hand. Perhaps I'd be better off on my 40-year-old Black & Decker workmate. To anyone that knows anything about woodworking, is you need to have good tools. Well, you can get away with some crappy tools, but it's a lot harder work. I have got some good tools and I've got some crappy tools. But the main thing about planing is keeping the things sharp. If they're sharp, you plane a lot better. I was rubbish when I first started because I hadn't sharpened my planes. So sharpen your bloody planes. This planing lark is good for your health, but it takes a lot of work. See all those boards there? Each one took about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, I'd have said. You see all these shavings all over the place? My mother-in-law loves them. She keeps chickens. I spent the morning practicing, learning how to do this, and I managed to whittle this board down from something like that, slightly planed, odd shape, not exactly flat, to fairly flat, fairly smooth. Now I'm lucky enough to live in Croatia, where the sun does shine quite a bit. It gets cold, and it is cold. It's been cold all throughout this project. But it's also been warm, because when you stand in the sunshine, it's brilliant. And I love working outside. I'd much rather work outside than in my shed. My shed's got no windows. I'm working outside as much as I possibly can. Come the summertime, I won't be able to because it'll be too bloody hot. Global warming for you, you bastards. After rough planing, I need to get the boards down to size. And this is the next sequence of bloody shots. But I only chose 4 boards. I ended up doing 5 because one broke. The joy of using construction wood is you can't get it perfect, you never will. Plus, I got wormholes. So just checking it's flat here and level. It's not as hard as it looks. You just got to be patient and keep trying at it. Now to do the end grain, needed a shooting board, so I made it that morning. Never done one before, I hadn't got a clue. Graham Blackburn, or maybe Rex Kruger, showed me how to do this. It's really simple. Get yourself some old bits of cabinet, like I have, a bit of furniture, stick them together with some screws, and away you go. Oh, one other thing about this shooting board, it's not guided. You do all the work yourself. You need a bit of skill to use this, but not a lot. Now look at that. Square is a very square thing. Now I've seen and read quite often that marking out is the most important part of any woodworking project. And I have to say, I think it's true. I was terrible marking out at this, and slowly I got better and better. One of the most important things as well is making sure your boards are properly numbered or marked. A number of times I kept going, ooh, which one's this? Which board's this? Which board's that? Learn a valuable lesson there. Make sure you know which board is which at all times. I nearly cocked up a couple of occasions. Got away with it though. I found that scribe very useful, particularly later on, but also using this knife made a big difference. Now, I'm not doing anything fine here, so it didn't really matter the way I used it. One of the things about being a cheap woodworker, I don't mean I'm cheap, well I am, I'm quite cheap. No, but one of the things is about not having any money is you find ways of doing stuff. And this was the best way I could find of clamping boards. It works for me, it's not perfect. Do I want to spend a lot of money on a clamp for woodworking? No, definitely not, and I'm not going to. But I will explore some of the more traditional methods of clamping wood. I quite like this, but it's a bit of a pain. Now, the first board I did for sawing was terrible. Subsequent boards got a lot better, but I'm still not very good at sawing, I have to say. And this Baco bloody coping saw, oh, it's not Baco actually, it's something I got from the local Bauhaus, a big box store here in Croatia, and it was terrible. Wrong blade. I now know it's a wrong blade, but that blade actually comes in useful later. We'll see. It's terrible on construction wood. It all just tears out. But I got slowly better and better at this, at using it. Okay, this is the bit where I really don't know if I'm doing any good. But we'll see. Shave off the trouble is, I'm not really sure that's particularly square. The thing here is get better at sawing, because that's a bit rounded and that's a bit rounded. Okay, so standing up is definitely better than sitting down for this job. See right here, I made them. You've got to concentrate all the time. So that's what I was doing there, and I made it right cock up. So yeah, I'm squinting. The sunlight's right in my eyes. What is it? It's 2 degrees. It's warming up quite nicely actually. It was -4 overnight. So today I'm transferring these onto these boards, sideboards. Before I do that, I just got to put an edge there. This is a Matt Esley tip, and it just stops that board from slipping when you move, when you're marking it out. Of all the things I've did in this project, I think this is probably about the easiest, apart from sawing the wood at the beginning. It's a lot easier than it looks. It's so pleasant working outside in the sunshine, hearing the sparrows tweeting away. So just pare out some crap. There's a few bits of video missing in this because I'm terrible at pressing record. I have to say that I don't think I've done a very good job here. They don't look very square, parallel to each other, which means that they're not square. Transferring the markings wasn't done very well. It was a bit of a disaster. So a bit tight first of all. I take some more out, and guess what? I took out too much. So the first attempt, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as good as it looked on video. But by the time I got to the very last one, it was a lot better. I wouldn't say it was great. I still need a lot of practice. But when I put that box together, it's such a joyous feeling. Now here I am making a right hash of this. I don't know why I chose to use a hammer. Idiotic. The whole thing was just a mess. I slipped when I was cutting that. Again, here's me making a right mess. Took me ages to work out how to properly clamp down, and I still haven't. I'm not happy with any clamping methods. Now there I was going, oh, this hasn't worked, something wrong here. So I stopped for the day, had a look on the internet, and finally found a video from an Australian guy, I can't remember his name, and he showed me how to do it. It was Aussie Woodshed, I just looked it up. It's called How to Cut Grooves with Only a Saw and a Chisel. Brilliant, just what I needed. And here I am, showing you a maggot, a grub, or whatever you want to call it, a worm, woodworm. Need to saw off the corners to make it fit. I knew that was going to be a problem. Getting slightly better at marking here. And now look at this. So much better. So much faster. Comes out in nearly one piece. A lot better. I ended up using a pencil to mark it, in case I made a mistake. And then used my knife, and I dug my knife right in. The sawing I got better, but I wouldn't say I was really good at it. It slipped out quite a few occasions. It's okay once you get. So there you are. I'm using that to gauge how deep it is. And that is a broken bit of that coping saw. Chiseling out, yeah, that's hard work. I kept sharpening and sharpening, but I don't know whether it's, I don't believe it's because of the chisel. I mean, the chisel's not great, I know, but it wasn't easy work. Maybe it's never meant to be easy work. There I am showing it's a little bit proud. Take out a bit more. And there you go. Get off. God, get off. Bloody hell. Yeah. Glue up. I don't know what everybody fusses about glue ups. It's dead easy when you're doing it at 1 degree C. Actually, it might have been 4 when I did this. It doesn't come out the glue pot very well. I don't think I really needed to clamp this up, but I wanted to sort of get it as tightly together. Now, I had that big cutout from chiseling. That's my own fault. Decided to do it by planing down and then plonking a bit of scrap wood into there. And I made that a perfect fit. I don't know, I think that was just luck more than skill. Bit of dust. Needed some sawdust. Oh. I don't know if I'm doing this right or wrong, but I did it. Now I only did a few bits of this. I wasn't that bothered to do all of it. I was just trying out the method to see how well it worked. Well, the clamps came undone. Here we go. Next day, all dried out. Bit of hand sanding. Oh, not good enough. So I got the Black & Decker out. Quite pleased with it. and I think I'll use it for storing kindling for the fire.